Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are here, guys. Welcome back to a Saturday morning live stream. I'm so happy to be back. Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning. Let me know that you guys can hear me okay, because you know me and audio and technology. We aren't great friends. So let me know if you guys can hear me okay before I start rambling on. Man, what the hell is this? What do I need an update for? Good morning. Good morning, though. All these damn pop-ups. They try to be sitting here for 10 minutes and they want to start popping up now. All right. Good morning. Good morning, chat. Y'all are popping already. Good morning. Yeah, I pushed it scheduling back a little bit to like 10:15, 10:20 this morning. Just because I had some maintenance issues. Had to get the maintenance guy in here to work his magic with the good old AC, even though I'm sitting here in a hoodie. But down here in Florida, we can't live without our AC. But that's not important. I just like to be upfront with you guys. So that's why I scheduled the show back a little bit. But I appreciate you guys for popping in and joining me on YouTube, on the old Twitter, good old X, Twitter, whatever. Are people really calling it X? Like, is that become like a norm now? Or is that like, oh yeah, I'm on X? Or like, am I the only one still here calling it Twitter? That's fine. I'll be the only one. But y'all, we have so much shit to talk about. I was sitting this morning making my coffee and I was like, damn, like I haven't talked to you guys over on One True Sport here in like 2 weeks. We had some like scheduling issues. Last week I think it was last week, and then the time difference wasn't able to get in. But we got it all straight now. That's the most important fact, that we are back here. And I kind of want to get your guys' thoughts as well. Obviously, I did watch along on my channel, KickAsh Podcast. So thank you all for joining me on that for WrestleMania Night 2. That was a blast. But I have not been on here since WrestleMania to get everyone's thoughts. So if you, even if you have, I know, like, what's up, Sean, the boss, what up, what up? I know a lot of you guys have already popped over on my channel, but as a whole, I want to get like a general consensus of like WrestleMania Night 1, Night 2, what you guys are thinking in the chat, the fallout from this week. This week is going to be heavy on WWE focus, and then next week for me, I kind of want to, at least on this show, kind of want to move over towards like AEW, and then maybe even talk some TNA a little bit, some NXT. I don't know, NXT is still WWE. But I just feel like we've just been like so saturated with WWE lately and just wrestling, period, which isn't a bad thing, but it's just kind of need a breather, So my goal for this show today is just to kind of the WrestleMania fallout. No bait and switch there. Just kind of take a look at some stuff that happened on Monday. Of course, the new Dangerous Alliance that we're getting. That shit was just badass, man. And then we got a great show on SmackDown. SmackDown still suffers from the 3-hour format. I think it's actually changing here soon, coming up in like June or July. I think it is in the summertime to going back to 2 hours. So that would be fantastic. But I think it was a really good SmackDown overall. There were some like, I guess, lull moments, but overall, I think it was a very good SmackDown. And I don't want to say it's starting to become the SmackDown after Mania or anything like that, like Raw, but hype-wise and stuff like that. But I think if they continue in the years to come with a solid SmackDown, then they could really make a case for it, and they could actually, if they really wanted to, they could try to promote a full 2-week spread of Mania, of Wrestle. Yeah, 2 weeks of Mania. There you go. You're welcome. If you think about it, I mean, you could, because you have the week leading into WrestleMania, you have the go home show, then you can hype up NXT. You have all the shit happening. You have the Access. You have the Hall of Fame, which I think they need to move. To be honest with you guys, I haven't even seen the Hall of Fame. I completely forgot that shit was on. What was it, last Friday? It's been such a long 2 weeks, right? I completely forgot the Hall of Fame was on. So after SmackDown aired, I was driving home from work and turned on my regular podcast I listened to just on the way home. Completely forgot that it was on. And then the next morning I was like, oh fuck, that's right. Sorry guys. I was like, oh shit, that's right. And obviously there's just been so much other shows going on. But I saw clips, I heard Triple H went on for what, like 45 minutes. He may even still be out there talking, who knows. But they just need to, I don't know why they don't do it on Thursdays. Let me know if I'm missing something on why they don't air the Hall of Fame on Thursdays. But after SmackDown is just not it on Fridays. So yeah, Oh, back to the Mania week. I was going to keep going on about the Hall of Fame. But with Mania week, right? Then obviously you lead into SmackDown, your Mania itself, and then of course you have Raw after Mania. If they continue to hype it up, you could really make a case for SmackDown after Mania, and even NXT this week. NXT had some star power, right? They had Joe Hendry show up there as well. I know Joe Hendry is a mixed bag. I know Sean is not a fan. I'm pretty certain Sean is not a fan of good old Mr. Hendry. Sean, I'm not gonna say you're not a believer, but it is one of those characters where I don't want to say you either love him or you hate him, because I don't necessarily love him, but I think I get a kick out of it, and I see the process for what he did, right? And I respect what he did, and I see and to me it's a little bit different than Fandango. I just see this dude who really grinded and because this song isn't new. Like this song had been out for I don't know exactly how long, but at least a few years. And this whole the Joe Hendry shtick, and he just really stuck at it, man. And there's just in me a level of props, and I'm not saying that you guys don't have it either or respect for him, but because you can still respect someone and just not like the character at all. So I totally get that. But for me, it kind of makes it a little bit easier to kind of get a kick out of him. Now, the presentation at WrestleMania, that's another story. I have heard a couple of different, shows and even a couple of different wrestlers give their input on just the fact that he was at WrestleMania alone and he got the match with Randy Orton. Granted, it was 3 minutes. He didn't really get that much offense in, to say the least. But I'm 50-50 on it. You know what I mean? I'm right there. I'm if you think about it, the fucking Street Profits didn't even get their WrestleMania match. You know what I mean? They had to have their match on SmackDown this past week. So the fact that Joe Hendry, who's not even in the company and is a World Heavyweight Champion for a different company nonetheless, was able to come in and get a match with Randy Orton. Granted, it was again not even a full-fledged match, quote unquote, right? But he still got a spot on the big stage, right? So if he never makes it to WWE for whatever reason, if he never makes it to WrestleMania, he can at least say, you know what? I never did X, Y, and Z, but I got a match. I got a moment with Randy Orton at WrestleMania, and he got his entrance, which I think was great. He got that moment where I don't even know if it went viral. I don't think it went viral, quote unquote viral. Well, people about their viral moments. But y'all know how the RKO's out of nowhere, that whole thing took over for a bit. I think the way they set that up was really fun and brilliant. Hendry was doing his little turnaround smile thing, and Randy Orton took advantage of that, as Randy Orton would. So I think it was a long match short type of situation, long story short. It was obviously very condensed, but I think it gave us come on, there's no way Joe would have beat Randy anyway. Joe would beat Randy, first name basis. So, but the other part of me is that's the TNA heavyweight champion, bro. You don't in a way, I want to say I felt a little bit of I felt it was a little disrespectful, you know what I mean? But then as I try to say that, I'm or as I start to say that, I'm just I don't know, man. I don't, so I'm 50-50 on it, overall, I think it was still good for him to get the exposure. And I'm sure, and I wonder what TNA thought too, the TNA executives as they were watching it, what their input and what their opinions of it were. But Joe Hendry, I think, I didn't hear the full segment, but he even I don't know if it was immediately after, but I think that same night or maybe early on Monday, he was I wrestled Randy Orton at WrestleMania or something like that on Twitter, and that's it, man. That's kind of the long story short of it. So I get it, I get both sides of it. But I'm going to pop into the chat here because I've been running my mouth. I should have grabbed my water. But what is up, everyone? I said good morning a little bit ago, but good morning. Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about Zelina Vega for sure and the Chelsea Green of it all. But good morning, the boss. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, David, Sean. What's up, Sean? KV and I, what's up? You are over there on the Twitterverse. Good morning, good morning. CB, Anthony, what up, what up? Sai, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Yes, and the whole rock of it all. Yes, that's so, yeah. I didn't watch the interview that Rock did, but obviously I heard of it. Because, again, guys, to be completely transparent with you all, y'all know if you've seen me before, you know I have mixed feelings on The Rock, as a whole, right? But when I heard that when I started hearing comments about, or like not comments, but like snippets of what he said from the interview about how like Ari Emanuel called him because ticket sales were soft for Elimination Chamber, so he came in to like pretty much save the day type shit, and that was what really prompted and like got the juices flowing for a Cena heel turn. They were contemplating on it being Cody, but then they were like, no, like it obviously settled on Cena, and and how it was like never really in the plans for him to be at WrestleMania. And how I think he even said he was like, I can see why people would think and fans would think that once Travis Scott's, it's weird to say his name plural, or like trying to make it plural, music hit, that he would be coming out. And it's just like, no shit, dude. Yeah, because when Cena fucking turned heel, it was Rock, Scott, Cena in the ring. So yeah, why the fuck wouldn't we think you were gonna be there? Like, I don't know. Like, and the reason I didn't listen to it as well is because I still, as I sit here and talk about wrestling on a show here, right? I still feel weird about having so much behind the scene access and so much insight as to, and obviously they're not telling us everything, right? But I just still feel weird as a fan knowing how the sausage is made, right? Or is that the analogy people use? How the sausage is made, is it the hot dog, or whatever? How whatever is made. Granted, I do love those shows, which is, I guess, kind of hypocritical. I don't know. I'm whatever, guys. We'll get into my issues later. But I just, especially live, like as it's kind of happening still, like it's not like we're 5 years in the future and he's on a podcast or on the show telling people how, and the thought process behind it and everything. I don't need to know, like, while the story is still going on, like, just the inner makings of it. For me, like, I obviously it should go without saying, but just to make sure it's out there, we all know what wrestling is, right? I don't use the F word because I don't think it's that, but I still like to like kind of check out, right, and get engrossed in what wrestling is, and that's why, I don't know why this just popped into my mind, but for instance, like when the whole Moxley and Spike thing happened with the baseball bat with the spikes going into his back, for me, like stuff like that, it's just I respect that that's what some people like for their wrestling, and that's cool. Like I said, I've gone to GCW shows, so like shit like that doesn't bother me. It's just I don't. To me, like it's the art form of wrestling, right? It's how they do what they do without killing each other, right? Each week. So that's kind of where I'm at with wrestling. And granted, like I do love, for instance, like back years ago, like when there's Something to Wrestle podcast with Bruce Pritchard and Conrad were like first dropping, or were like still very new to dropping. I thought that was fascinating, and I listened to so many episodes. Like some of his episodes went 3, 4, 5 hours. I think the one with Edge went like 7, 8 hours. I remember I was driving to New Jersey. I was still living in Virginia, and it was like a 5.5 hour drive. And I plugged that show on, and I listened to it the entire way. So I love like going back in history and learning about stuff, but I like for it to be the history of it. Like I don't like for it to be still like the present. So I think that's why, because like even that WrestleMania, the documentary last year, like the WrestleMania 40 with Rock explaining everything, and like the one with Cody, like where that meme came out of him. I never watched that. I probably will in the future, but I never watched that. They have like some new Unreal, I think, Real or Unreal or whatever show coming out on Netflix. I'm probably not gonna watch that. At least right now. Again, I think it's really cool, and I get the idea. And again, I'll watch that in the future, but I just don't want to see that stuff right now, man. Like, I love the business side of it, and I love learning about the behind the scenes, but like I don't want to know those aspects. Like I love like learning how like they come together with concepts and like how I don't know, I guess I'm hypocritical as I sit here and say it, but like I guess story wise I don't want to hear about it, you know, but I'd love to know the thought process behind building the story, but I don't want to hear about a current story. As like nitpicky as that is. And if that even makes sense, I could be just sitting here making no sense at all, which is fine, but not great for you guys. That's kind of where I'm at with The Rock. And the fact that he just feels so comfortable coming out and just like unleashing about shit like that. And I don't know, man, it's just very self-serving to me, I guess is how I'll phrase it. I don't know. I just get a weird vibe from it. So I can't shake it. And I know there's a lot of Rock lovers out there. So apologies, but that's just kind of where I stand on it, man. And I've felt that way for a long time now. A long time now. And that's why that promo CM Punk did, I actually retweeted it on my Twitter page a couple days ago. When I forget exactly what it was after, but it was on a Raw episode recently when he was going out there and kind of like calling out The Rock and Dwayne, he said, it was doing that the goosebumps shit, which I was so fucking happy he did that because it makes me cringe, man. Like the first time The Rock ever did it with the goosebumps, it's like, yo, that's cool. Like, because he had just recently started coming back, and I was like, that's cool, man. Like he really does feel this. And again, I say all this shit about him, and do I think that he does not care about the business? No, the exact opposite. He would not be involved in it if he didn't care about it. Maybe he would for the money, but he wouldn't be as deeply involved in it. You know what I mean? And not like the dude needs money, but like millionaires, man, like once they get money, man, like they're like addicted to the shit. Which I respect, you know, I respect the hustle, but it's probably why I'm not a millionaire, I guess. But I don't know, man. Like it just puts off a different vibe for me. So the fact that, and I don't know, like, was it a scheduling thing that he couldn't make it? I think he said, I don't know if this is, I didn't hear this, obviously, but I don't remember seeing this directly from what I read, but, was he actually at, like, his home, just watching WrestleMania and not even, like, a scheduling issue, like, taping-wise or anything? Because if that's the case, like, you couldn't, like, I don't know, like, you couldn't show up at all? Like, again, hypocritical, but not that I want him involved, but it's like, bro, now you're fucking involved, so now be there. You know, like it's just so baffling to me. And the fact that Rock wasn't there, couldn't be there, whatever, but Travis Scott was, like it didn't hit for me, man. And again, like I said on my show, like it doesn't matter. It could have been anyone, right? Like I just feel like the whole Cena turn should have been between him and Cody. I guess it was cool that The Rock was there, but like I just feel like it was just so many extra pieces that have not been needed for the puzzle at all. Cena still hasn't mentioned them. Cena even this week. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe he mentioned Travis Scott. I could be wrong because I had to watch the shows like out of order and just it's been a busy week. But there was no real emphasis on Travis Scott again. So I was like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, I don't know. Like, it's just very baffling to me and very frustrating, to be honest with you, because with the inclusion of The Rock, with the inclusion of Travis Scott, with it not just being about Cena turning heel, period, and just for himself, because he hates us as fans, because we're broken up with, and it's like, dude, like we broke up, like why are you still yelling at us? Like, move on. Like again, like he's that ex, bro, that like they're like, yo, like, all right, I'm over you, we're done, blah blah blah, like you're a piece of shit, like you suck at parenting, all this stuff. And it's like, fine, you know, like fine, we're done, okay, I get it. And then it's like a few days goes by and they reach out and they're like, you know, we're still over, you know, like I don't like, hey, how's it going, like, or I'm back, you know, like, but we're still over, you know, like I don't want anything to do with you, like you're a piece of shit, blah blah blah. I mean, Cena never called us a piece of shit, but like, you know what I mean. And it's just like, okay, dude, like I get it, like you we're over, like move on, bro. Like, why aren't you moving on? Like, why are you still so hung up on it? Like, we get it. Like, you feel like we were in an abusive relationship. Are we going to be talking about this for months? Like, I don't know. Like, for me, I guess I'm just a very, like, when something's done, it's done type person. And, like, if you're over it, you're over it. So I don't, like, maybe that's just my personality, but it's just like, all right, bro, like, I get it. You broke up with me, like, move the fuck on. You know, like, I get it. So, yeah. That's my long story short of The Rock and the Mania 41 night 2 main event. Main event night 1 was great. I thought that was fantastic. I thought the opening for Mania night 1 was fucking tremendous. I'm gonna go back and rewatch that match with the women. Bianca, Io, and Rhea. So happy Io retained her title. Just so happy for her, dude. Like, I don't like what they did with Rhea, but I'm happy for Io. Should have put more sugar in this coffee. Oh, what up, Sean? Thank you, man. I appreciate the super chat. I forget these things are there. He says, I like the Cena Orton stepping, but I'm really not excited about the match. Lord, can I read? I hope they surprise me, but Cena is just so bad in the ring now. Yeah, dude, I'm going to, I don't need to start because it's started already. Look at that. I definitely want to get into the Orton Cena part of it though, because I felt happy that I got right. I mean, not that it was that surprising, especially with knowing that Orton was going to be in the main event. But I'm happy that they're actually moving forward with Cena and Orton. I know a lot of people are just over that duo, period. If you live through the 2010, 2011, like, well, even back, what, 2020. At that point, it'd be 2000, I think it was like 2008 to 2011, 12, 13-ish is when the prime, like, non-stop Cena Orton dynamic was going on, it feels like. Sorry if you hear some quote unquote growling from Callie. She's here. She does this, like, she's not growling, but she's like talking to you. So a lot of people are just like, they had their fix of Cena and Orton. And I definitely did for a long time as well. But this dynamic is so different to me. I guess we'll just talk about it now, Sean. This dynamic is so different to me that I'm really looking forward to the build. Now, going back on what we saw from SmackDown, first of all, that segment was like, what, 25 minutes, which was, I mean, including the entrance as well. But it was surprising that they got so much time. And I'm wondering if that was a sign that Cena's not going to be there. What's the date of Backlash? Let me pull that up. But it's just surprising that they got so much time. And they already kind of threw everything into what the weeks upcoming would have been, right? Like, you have your setup, essentially, you have your issues, you have maybe a contract signing, you have them attack each other. Randy already attacked Cena on Raw. I think it was Raw. Yeah. And then Cena, I actually liked what Cena did. I actually liked Cena because that was one thing that we hadn't really seen was Cena taking advantage or like trying to get the upper hand and just like segments like this, really. And I liked what he did. It was a simple tossing of the title for a distraction and going at it with a punch, and like the kicks were more vicious that Cena was giving to Orton. So I was like, okay, cool. And then obviously Randy Orton ended up getting the upper hand, but that's why, thinking back on it, I'm like, I wonder if that was kind of everything the next few weeks would have been rolled into one. So Backlash is going to be on May 10th. Oh, and it's a Saturday show. That's dope. Saturday, May 10th. Fucking love Saturday shows. Let's go. But yeah, in ring wise, Cena is not great. And to be fair though, that's why he's hanging it up. That's why I think it was on the Pat McAfee show that he said that he made a promise to, I think, himself or the fans or whatever, that once he realized he was pretty much like a notch down, a step down from what he used to be, that he was going to hang it up. And that's what he's doing, So I I'm not gonna sit there or like sit here like this year and like really beat him up unless it's just fucking tremendous, like just not tremendous, just fucking terrible, right? And just something that is just unavoidable. But it's kind of like an understood thing for me at this point that like, all right, the Cena matches aren't going to be that great in ring wise, but what I am looking forward to is the story, and what I'm pretty much honing like 85% of the whole Cena match, regardless of who it is against for this next year. At like that's the story is really going to dictate the match for me, and it's just kind of where I'm at with it with him, and it's not the best like outlook to have, I guess, but and I wouldn't recommend it for each match, right? And I don't have that same lens, I guess, for each wrestler in each match. It's just really for Cena, just because like of the circumstances. So I get it, man. Though he's just not great in the ring, but this heel version of him kind of gives him a little bit of a break as well. He doesn't. I mean, not that he was out there being Mr. Technical anyway, but it allows him to take even more like opportunities to not wrestle, right? Like you have like your eye rigs, like the poke to the eye stuff, like him just leaving the ring and just buying time and little shit like that heels do, that bad guys do, like he now will be able to do and take advantage of. So if we think he didn't wrestle or he wasn't really like, people say he can't wrestle, I don't agree with that. Like he's just not like an actual like like collegiate wrestler or anything like that. He's just a bodybuilder that trained to be a wrestler type of thing. You know what I mean? And look what he made out of it. So just different backgrounds, different foundations. Now, has he had time to learn and to improve? Fuck yeah, dude. He's had like 2 careers put together worth to rehone and refine his skills, as they say, right? But I don't know. Like I've never really expected much from Cena in ring wise, which I guess is terrible to say too. But he always had a way of putting on an entertaining match, though. Like not always. That's not accurate, but majority of the time, depending on his opponent and the partner, right? The matches were the story, and it came off. It came off well, and yeah, I don't know. He's just his own dynamic, dude. It's just so. He's his own enigma. Take one from Jeff Hardy. Oh, sorry. Thanks, man. He said, digging the hoodie, by the way, Ash, free Karen Reed. Yeah, man. Y'all, so y'all can see it. What a fucking badass mugshot, right? Let me get a little closer. Move the strings. Fucking badass mugshot, dude. She shouldn't have had a mugshot to begin with. But yeah, man. Fucking free Karen Reed. If you guys, are not aware of who Karen Reed is, I'm not going to tell you who to or what side to be on. Obviously, I have my opinion, right? Obviously, I think she's innocent, but check it out. You need to just search Karen Reed, and you will, if you have time to go down a rabbit hole, it's worth it, because it needs to be like, awareness needs to be out there, because there's, in my opinion, solely in my opinion, injustice going on in Massachusetts, Canton area, Boston area, Dedham area. So yeah, and the woman, man, like, and I'm not gonna get on my soapbox about it, but not on this show at least. But the reason, like, I feel so strongly about it too is because she could be any one of us, y'all. My opinion, again, I feel like she is being wrongly charged, and has a retrial going on right now. And she could just be any one of us, but thank God she had enough money and support to be able to fight back the way she is. So that's what's just so scary to me, like, especially nowadays, with, at least in our country here, with how much turmoil and animosity, for lack of other words, and information. It's just, regardless of what side you're on, it's just very high tensions in the world today. And just seeing what's going on with her, man, it just sucks, bro. It just sucks. So if y'all haven't heard about Karen Reed, definitely check it out. And again, you could definitely make your own opinion. I'm not telling you to think the way I think, but just at least check it out and just take a go in there with an open mind and just take a broad look at everything, all the information, people's statements, and see what's going on out there. Corruption is real, y'all. Corruption is real. And people say you can't get 20 people to go along with the story. Okay. If it's your family, y'all, like people ride or die for their family, and that's what's going on. So family and friends. So yeah, check that out, y'all. But CB, getting back to the wrestling side, but thanks, Sai, appreciate you, man. You say, oh, dope avatar, CB, or I get not avatar, dope thumbnail, I guess. Obviously, it's Halloween. I didn't know the word to call it, but yeah, thumbnail. That's dope, dude. I fucking love the Halloween series, man. Oh, it's so good. But you said it's so sad because of how many fans love The Rock to see him get exposed as what he is like behind the scenes. Yeah, dude. Fucking, that's a simple statement, but a very accurate statement. No discredit to your statement, but because a lot of times simple is better. But that's exactly right, dude. Like, you did the long story short for me, so I appreciate that. Again, you said it's so sad because of how many fans love The Rock to see him get exposed as what he is like behind the scenes. And again, man, like, I was one of those people. Like, I remember, God, it was probably 2002. I wonder, maybe it was even during like the whole Alliance, maybe 2001 then. But it was I don't know. It was like early 2000s. He was coming back he was gone for a while. I forget the exact situation. I just remember the feeling, man. I just remember being at my aunt's house in New Jersey. It was during the summertime, and being so excited that The Rock was coming back. So I've been a fan of his, and like he's just changed. He's just changed so much. He doesn't even look like the same dude. Like, he's fucking jacked, which is fine. Like, like, do you, boo boo? But like, it's just a different person, man, and that's cool. Like, I don't even I don't know. I don't even know how I feel. But yeah, I guess I do know how I feel, but because I feel like I don't dislike him. It's not like, and again, if I was in the arena, I'd probably pop, right? I'd probably be like, oh shit, The Rock is here. But I don't know, maybe even not. Now that I'm thinking, I mean, it's cool because it's different being at the show too, because you're so caught up in what's going on in the environment and the feeling about it. So you're just so excited to be involved in what's going on. Sometimes you're like, it's almost like beer goggles type shit. The People's Championship. Yeah, fucking dude made his own title, bro. Like, come on. Well, he didn't make his own title, but come on, bro. Yeah, that's right. He did. He flat out said his work was done. Yeah. So, and okay, so yeah, so there's no reason why he couldn't have made it to WrestleMania. So I just, it just really leaves a bad taste, man. Where I don't know, and I don't know if I'm again just like clouded in it, but I don't know, bro. Like, something about it just feels icky, bro. I just don't like it. But yeah, I'll move on. Oh, thanks again, Sean. I appreciate you, bro. You said that's why I never wanted Cena to come back at all. Ooh, okay, yeah. Fair enough, dude. Fair enough. So, would you say that, at least to the point where we're at right now, if you could go back to before Cena announced that he was going to do his retirement tour this year? So I guess, what was that? Did he announce that in London? Was that in London, or was it Toronto? Wherever, whatever show he was at. Would you, if you could go back to then and prevent him from doing that, would you just not have had him set up this whole like last tour? Is that kind of where you're at? And just maybe had a couple matches and then do like one final match and this just be done? I mean, I'm in. Yeah, and then you said he had a great career, but just goes through the motions now. He does. He does. CB, you said, I guess if I remember correctly, The Rock was in charge of the jukebox on WWE 2K17, and half the music was edition Down with the Sickness by Disturbed was crap because of being concerned. Bro, I don't know, man. I don't know. You got me on that one, bro. I don't know. I don't know. Good morning, Universal. Good morning. I am fantastic. How are you? Thanks for popping in. But yeah, so kind of wrapping up on 20 AEW New Year show, which as I told you probably wasn't happening. Universal, I'm gonna throw this up here real quick. You said last time we chatted, the topic we had was you and your colleague discussing Shane McMahon joining AEW at the New York show, which, as I told your colleague, isn't happening. Again, hi, how are you? Okay. Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, it wasn't happening. But to me, I still think it fucking should have, Like, I mean, look at where we're at now. Like, was it for the better or worse, Out of my colleague, who was that? Would it have been Sean or Elvis? I don't know which show that was. Maybe it was Elvis. But yeah, man, I still think it fucking should have been. Like, and they knew what they were doing, like getting those pictures and leaking those pictures or whatever. But like, yeah, I don't know, man. I still think it should have been. And again, like, I'm not saying it could have been that much worse. Fuck, But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, God, that was, man. Just thinking back to how much shit has happened from then until now, it's just crazy to think about it. Oh man. And universally, you said John Cena's heel turn since Chamber was a major failure. That night at Chamber, there was no reaction. During the Cena Cody storyline, only one interview was done. Well, yeah. And I remember being so excited for that first appearance from Cena on Raw. And I thought he really killed that first interview promo. But yeah, bro, there's just so much that they've left on the table. Really. And he explained the whole, like, oh, you're not getting new merch, you're not getting new music because that's what you want type thing. Like, okay, fine. But it's such a cop out though. I just feel like part of me is like, okay, you can make that excuse work, I guess. But it's like, I just feel like it's kind of like a cop out. You know what I mean? I appreciate them at least addressing it, but it's like, I still think that if you're gonna, I don't know, man. It's like, I still think like if you're gonna do this big drastic measure and go and have the biggest baby face since I guess Hogan, essentially, or not Hogan, and okay, before I start a little riot there, in the sense that the pureness, right, and like and again, Hogan, the on-screen character, not the dude, the real life dude, but the say your prayers, eat your vitamins dude that we saw in the 80s, 90s before he turned. I guess the more I try to use this as a comparison, the more I need to like put a little disclaimer. But you guys know what I mean, right? Like the clean cut guy, right? Like obviously like Randy Orton mentioned, going out there and granting the most wishes, I guess, wishes, period, for any celebrity, any athlete, period, out there. Anyone who's ever been requested, Cena has granted the most. So that's what we've known. And for you as a company to completely shake that up and to make a turn and to not like go as far in as you can, like, I'm just kind of perplexed by that, man. Like, I can understand, I guess, where Cena was coming from, like I said, with the shirts and everything, the music, whatever. But like, I don't know. I still feel like it's just kind of an excuse. It's more of an excuse not to put the effort in to change it than to actually make sure you're making it make sense type thing. So I don't know, man. Just little things like that I think really impacted too. I like that they actually they changed his I guess Titantron. I always call it the Titantron. Like imagery. It was just like the black and white, just the black background, the white John Cena words, name. But I don't know. It's just, I feel like something's just missing, man. All right, cool. So I am just making sure. I want to catch up on some stuff. All right, cool. Right on. But wrapping up with SmackDown, though, I think, God, it's already been 40 minutes. That's crazy. Shout out to everyone popping in popping in on YouTube, on YouTube, obviously, and on Twitter. Appreciate you guys. Please like and subscribe. I always forget to say this stuff, and it's more important here. Because if you're not subscribed to the One True Sport YouTube channel, then you should be. And Brass Ring Media as well. Still put up videos and do stuff on that channel also. So definitely make sure you guys are subscribed to that. And I always say put the notification. Well, I don't always say because I forget to say this shit. But it is a good reminder. Let me rephrase that. To turn notifications on. I hate getting notifications, period. So I get why you may not want to. But I have notifications turned on for like a couple channels on YouTube that I really fuck with. So because for me, for instance, like if you follow my channel, I am random as shit and just spontaneous. And go live at random times. So as much as it's probably better to have a schedule, I'm just fucking random. And I kind of have a weird schedule and I kind of just be doing shit when I do it. So it's not great to build like, and that's why I don't like, I take this shit seriously, but I don't, you know what I mean? Like I love you guys, but like, I don't know. Let me not get into that. I could definitely do better at it. But I'm just kind of here, man. I'm just still kind of winging it and just still seeing what happens. I just love getting on here and just bullshitting with you guys. That's what I care about most. So that's why I say just make sure you turn the notifications on, because whether it's my channel or One True Sport, it's common denominators. We love wrestling, right? And I think that if you guys are sitting here on a Saturday morning or potentially like midday, depending on where you're at in the world, then you like some wrestling too. So stay in the loop. And that's how we get the little community growing too. It is, and like in all seriousness, not that that wasn't completely serious, but in a little bit more seriousness, it does help the algorithm as well, though. I have witnessed that. So it helps get the channel, the shows out, exposed and out there floating in the whole sphere of Twitter, YouTube, and all that good stuff. So you guys know what to do. Just a little reminder if you feel so inclined. And if not, hey, that's cool too. I appreciate you being here. But back to SmackDown. I, again, think that it's just mind-blowing to me that we had the New Day and the War Raiders on WrestleMania instead of the Street Profits, instead of the match that we got on SmackDown, instead of the Street Profits, DIY, and the Machine Guns. Like, again, no disrespect to New Day and the War Raiders at all. I don't know why you couldn't have both. Like, do one and one on each side. And again, not sitting here fucking advocating for 10 matches each. But it's like I just, like, if you were going to make a choice, and that definitely was a choice, I just think it was the wrong choice, just to be honest with you, story-wise. Like, I just feel like the build for the SmackDown set of tag titles was much more substantial and had more meat and substance to it than the Raw one did. And I think that is also a shot at what they've done with the New Day, because the New Day had so much potential coming out of, you want to talk about turns, talk about Cena. They had so much potential coming out of their turn, and they just WWE, and this is no shame or no shots at, like Kofi and Xavier. It's on WWE, man. They just didn't either give them, and again, we did see them on TV, but there was just no real direction with it. Like, there was no, I guess substance is my word, but there was just no real, yes, they had, I guess, a reason, but they just fell quickly into like the stereotypical, like, okay, bad guys, like, like, just, I don't know, like, it, again, to make a turn with an act that had so much goodwill built up and so much credibility built up and so much love built up, and you just, in my opinion, you kind of fumbled the bag, man. You just kind of fumbled the whole, I'm not going to say the whole possibility of it, because there's still potential, but just like, I don't know. And I'm not going to, I am a big advocate for taking as much time off as you need, whether it's for mental health days, you're rehabbing, whatever. Like, I am not a person to advocate for people to rush coming back from injuries, right? Like I'm just not. um Obviously work hard and don't slack off, right? Like if you have a goal, like fucking stick to it, but like don't just be careful. You know what I mean? And just make it make sense and be safe and be smart about it. But the fact that Biggie was involved in the celebration, right? And then he just hasn't been seen since, but yet he still does the panels. He still does like the pre-show and the post shows. And he's obviously like he talked about it a little bit. I didn't hear the entire thing of what he said, post Mania, but he was like, um, like he had pretty much, long story short, like he had feelings, like some ill feelings towards them still, but he can't knock like the hard work and them winning. I guess it was like a record breaking title reign. I don't even know the number. But I don't know, man. It's just like, how do you not get him involved? Like, how do you not have him show up on TV to follow up? Like, obviously not doing anything physical. Just go out there and talk, though. Like, he could talk at the panels. Like, he's there. So it's just odd to me. Like, I just feel like I'm missing something. All right. But moving back on, Universal, you said Smackdown this week was mostly a forgettable show. Okay. Oh, strong words. I don't know about forgettable. I wouldn't say forgettable. Did it cook, as the kids say, the entire time? No. But it definitely had its good moments. And I know I really liked the TLC match. So I'm gonna say it's forgettable, but to each their own, bro. He said Black's re-debut was silent and failed. Giving his wife Zelina the title on her husband's first night was political booking and 100% wrong. I did think it was, like, timing-wise, pretty interesting. But to be fair, though, they have been building, and the story has been there between Zelina and Chelsea Green. So, and shout out to Chelsea Green, man. You want to talk about people not being on WrestleMania? Fucking travesty that she, especially now that she lost the U.S. Championship, fucking travesty that she was not on one night of WrestleMania and ended up losing the title in the week after. Like, you could have at least had her have a match on WrestleMania and then maybe lose, this week if that's what you had to, if that's what your original plans were to begin with it, okay. But like the fact that she didn't have a Mania match is just ridiculous to me. Ridiculous. Even if it was like, I'm not saying she needed to go out there and have a 15 fucking minute classic, but like, damn, like, I don't know, man. I'm a big Chelsea Green fan. I love the work that she does. I get she's one of those I don't know the word, but like it has to be like your cup of tea, right? Like it has to, especially like the act being a champion, the seriousness of it and lack thereof. I get that. So, but to me it worked. To me, I love Chelsea Green. She's so fucking entertaining. And I don't know, like I'm happy for Zelina, because Zelina has put the work in, and been there for some time, and it's just nice to see her getting her flowers type shit. But it definitely was like when I saw that, and then Alistair obviously debuted, I was like, that's interesting timing. But I on this one I would be like eye roll, like benefit of the doubt type thing, but I don't know. Like I was kind of expecting a little bit, to your point about Alistair re-debuting. I was expecting a little bit of a bigger reaction, but it was fine. It was, and it was against the Miz. Like I thought I cracked up when the Miz, like, oh shit, what did he say? I forget what he said, but the Miz was saying something as he was walking towards Black, and Black just hit him with the black mask. It just made me crack up. But I forget. I forget what he said, but yeah, like I expected it to be a little bit more like, I guess more like, I guess the fan response to be a little bit more, and they stood there for a little bit, like a few seconds to like give it time to build, and it built a little bit more, but I was expecting more from the fans, I guess, and we'll see what it ends up being. I'm a huge fan of Aleister Black as well. I think that Vince was just dumb as fuck to let him go. I'm happy he's back. I still think AEW dropped the ball on Black. He came in fucking hot as shit over there. That feud with Cody. The fact that he was able to disrupt the momentum that Cody had going spoke volumes. And I think they just botched it, and it just went downhill from there for him. And I'm happy he's free. I'm happy he is back. Again, not even a fuck AEW type thing, because I love AEW, right? I love all wrestling, but if you're not going to use someone, and goes with WWE as well, if you're not going to use someone, if you're not going to present them how they think they should be presented, and again, it's not like the wrestler has the end all be all say, right? Like, they have input, and they should have input. It's their career, it's their livelihood, it's what they're doing. But if you just can't find a common ground, then let them go. Let them the fuck go. Like, why would you? And it kills me, man, because like in my part-time, there'll be times, because I with my full-time schedule, I just have the closing shift of my part-time, and we'll be in there sometimes, and we'll finish up at like 10, sometimes even earlier, but we're scheduled to 11. Mind you, we have an overnight crew that comes in at 9 that is essentially helping us, right? Like, they will be finishing up any recovery items. I work retail. I won't say the name, but I work retail for my part-time. So they'll come in and help if we were like crazy busy with any recovery items or anything like that. But mainly they'll be there to restock, and then like they call it like mapping. They'll like remap the section and put like new display items, stuff up, new product, whatever. They, like I said, they come in at 9. We again are scheduled till 11. So it just baffles me that we could be finished, the closing crew can be finished by like 10. But some of the leaders, want to keep us there until 10:30, 10:45, 11 o'clock, doing bullshit, or just walking back and forth, find something to do. Like, if we're done, send me the fuck home. Why do you want to pay me to do nothing? Like, and that's my whole point of this comparison. Like, if I'm not being productive and my job is done, send me the fuck home. Like, why would you want to pay me to do nothing? And it gets to a point where we're all just standing there because, like, we finished our job, and then, like, they're taking over our set. Like, the overnight crew is taking over our section, so, like, sometimes we can't do certain things, but it's just, like, and again, it's just certain, like, leaders or whatever, but it's just, like, why would you want to pay me to do nothing? Like, if you know my job is done, send me the fuck home. And that's my point with Aleister Black. And just and not even Aleister, well, obviously he's what started this conversation, but as a whole, if you are a wrestler in a company and that company is not paying that wrestler, I don't understand, and it's a mutual thing. I don't understand why you don't want to let them go. Like, why do you let them just sit around for months or a year and do nothing? Like, I don't understand that. Like, and again, to be fair though, business is business, and a contract is a contract. Like, you sign that contract for 3 years, 5 years, knowing that and if you didn't, you should, and I'm sure they all do, right? There's a possibility that booking isn't going to go your way, creative isn't going to go your way, there's going to be shit that you're not going to want to do. Possibly the other company could get hot, another company could get hot, and you can have a change of heart, but you're committing to that 3 years, that 5 years, whatever. So I totally get that. And if I'm that owner of the company, I understand why, and the stubbornness in me, or pettiness, or a combination of it, would be like, no, fuck that. Like, no, like, they signed for 5 years. Like, I don't want to say they're mine for 5 years, because that's weird, but like, they're with my company for 5 years, But at the same token too, at the end of the day, you have to look at what's most beneficial for your company and that person, man. Like, because that person's mental health and your mental health, like, because if you're, I mean, not that you're thinking about these people daily, but like, in the back of your mind, like, when you're booking, especially depending on your involvement and behind the scenes, like, if you're the head booker, for instance, we'll use that, who you're using and who you're not using. So just subconsciously, like, why would, I don't know. It's just like always been like a weird dynamic to me. Like I said, on one hand, I totally get the contract aspect of it, and it is what it is. But the other hand, too, I'm just like, just let them the fuck go. Like, it saves you money too. Like, fuck. Like, why don't you want to save money? Like, I don't know. I guess billionaires, like, once you make a certain amount of money, like, sometimes it's just like whatever. But like I was saying earlier too, like certain celebrities, man, like they're addicted to money too. So it's just a weird influx. Yeah, Sean, I agree with you. You said you would have cut the title on Chelsea in general. I would have too. At least for a little bit longer, just to build it up a little bit more. I don't know. It was just very, again, odd timing. The story was there, so it wasn't like just completely like random. It was just, I wouldn't have pegged it for this week, I guess. CB said Chelsea Green lost the U.S. Championship because her security fucked up, but she will probably get it back at Backlash. I hope, bro. I hope. Yeah. Her, oh fuck, was it her service? What the fuck is the name of it again? But yeah, Seeker Herbis, I think it is, or some shit like that. Yeah. Smooth realism. What up? What up? Where you say Triple H predictably has his champions hold for a year most of the time, but will make one of the most over girls in wrestling losing in just 4 months, and then the trash emoji. Yeah, dude, fucking great point there too. Yeah, like, I mean, obviously Cody is the prime example there of holding it for a long time. But that's what I'm saying. And again, like, it's a very interesting debate that you can have when you have a not so serious character like Chelsea Green become the champion, because in one hand, I guess I'm just talking hands today. In one hand, you have the side where it's like your champion should be serious. Your champion should take what they do seriously. They should take their role as a champion seriously. They should look the part and they should act the role. You know what I mean? And not the and appearance wise, she did, right? She never looked like a bum or nothing like that. But just in the sense of like your demeanor and the way you carry yourself type thing, right? Because you can walk around in a suit and still be a jack off, you know what I mean? And still be an asshole and still be someone that like people don't take seriously or they mock. But I think that with Chelsea, and again, so I say that because I get where some people are coming from with that. But for me personally, I just have always felt like if that person is going to get a certain amount of TV time and more TV time sometimes than the actual champion, why not have kind of like a win-win? Why not get your whatever title it is, in this situation the US championship? Why not get that championship shown and elevated more on TV? Because as that person's star power is growing and they're becoming more and more popular, the title should be getting elevated as well. So again, like, I just feel like with Chelsea, they had such a good thing. It was kind of like with the Iconics. Like, the Iconics, they were so fucking entertaining, and I looked forward to their segment every week, man. I loved them as a duo. I just think they are just so fucking hilarious, and they have such a great chemistry together, and I miss them, bro. I hope they end up coming back. I know, was it Peyton Royce? I forget her. I'm not sure her real name, but I think it was Peyton who it was pregnant. I'm sure she's had the kid now, because I feel like that was a while ago. But I know like that had like prohibited them from like wrestling, and I know they went to TNA for a while there, but I don't know if they're still with I don't think they're still with TNA. But like I said, I know she had taken time off, and or long story short, I don't know what their status is right now, but I know they dabbled a bit in TNA, but then they like had some other stuff going on. But I fucking love the Iconics, bro. I'm pretty certain it was WrestleMania 35. I don't feel like I'm conflating this memory of seeing them win the tag team titles. I'm pretty certain it was that against Bayley. I think it was like a multi-person match, and they ended up winning. I think Bayley and Sasha Banks were the defending champions, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like that's true. And just the pop and the reactions that they got thereafter. Like, I just, and then for them to for WWE to release them, like, I don't remember the time frame after that. I don't think it was too close. I think they, I think they had some time after that. But just to release them, period, I think it was just so, just bad judgment. And again, it's a completely different regime. So put that out there again, just for disclaimer purposes. But that reminds me of Chelsea Green. And again, obviously she's not released, thank God, like, knock on wood. But they'd be fucking dumb as hell if they release Chelsea Green. Again, not saying she's like the next like superstar, but you don't know. You don't know, because you look at Becky Lynch. Like, when Becky Lynch first came to the main roster, no one would have ever predicted that she would have had the run that she had, help elevating the women to get to the first main event at WrestleMania 35, right? And again, like, we're not going to get into the whole Charlotte of it all, and like, Ronda Rousey was obviously there as well to help with that, but it was really Becky that really pushed that and really got that, I hate saying momentum, but like, got that ball rolling, man. Like, there was a lot of podcasts out there making an argument for Becky being the face of WWE for a small period there. So who's to say, who's to say? And again, completely different dynamics of the characters, right? Like, I don't even know, like, who, like, two better great examples of opposites than Chelsea Green and the man Becky Lynch, right? But my point with that is, you don't know what you have until you really invest in it, And again, I'm not saying Chelsea Green is going to be the next WrestleMania main eventer, but you don't know what you have unless you try it. So you're absolutely right, dude. And again, like, I'm happy for Zelina. Again, at least the story was there, but I still feel like they could have gotten so much more than Chelsea Green. I'm still salty that, and I'll stay on that hill, that she didn't get her Mania match. So yeah, man, that's my long story long about the Chelsea Green part of it. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, and I get you were just there. Y'all were just chatting in the chat about this, but yeah, like that whole, and props to WWE though, and the referee, because apparently Chelsea, like, the match wasn't supposed to end and count out a couple weeks ago, and the referee counted to 10 because she wasn't back in the ring. So props to them. I like that because it gives it more of like a real, like, get your, like, real fight feeling, like, get your shit in the ring, like, rules are there for a reason, you know what I mean? So I kind of like that. You think she got in trouble for something behind the scenes? I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that, so I'm not gonna really speculate on that. I mean, I haven't been on social media really at all. But yeah, like, if she did, then that sucks. I don't know, man. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. I don't know. So if she did, then hey, I mean, that would be on her then, but I don't know. I don't know if she did or not. Universal, you said, Ash, I like your honesty regarding wrestlers being paid and not working. Some wrestlers are more than happy to get paid and not work. Others aren't, and that's why they asked to be released. Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that, Universal. So, but yeah, thank you. But yeah, like, and shit, I get it. Like, for me personally, I have to keep going. I have to be productive. Like, I just, whatever in me, like, of course, do I like sitting down and like vegging out and like watching TV or like a series? Fuck yeah, I do. But like, I need to have a productive day. Like, if I'm working, then I'm working. You know what I mean? Like, and again, like, there's sometimes during the day where like I'll take like a small break here and there and like do some like personal stuff if I need to. But when I'm working, man, I'm working, because I'm that type that when I start, I need to start to finish. I need to start and get my shit done. I can't be interrupted. Like, I need to be zoned in on work. And that's why it drives me nuts when like I'm finished my work and you just have me standing around doing nothing, or like find something to do. No, like, fucking tell me what you need me to do, or let me go home. Like, don't pay me. Like, I could be doing something else with my life. I could be being productive with something else with my life, or I could be being unproductive and just doing something else. You know what I mean? Just like, but not in the work setting, I guess, is my point with that. And that's my point with like wrestlers, like, in your tenure on that contract with a company, my mindset would be like, let me fucking work, let me go, like go type thing, you know? And if I'm not, then fucking let me go so I can go do that somewhere else. So that would be my mindset. But again, now, on the other hand, that good old other hand that we've been talking about, I can totally understand where if you're getting paid a nice paycheck, bro, if you're getting paid shit, multiple zeros, you know what I mean? And you ain't doing shit and you're sitting at home living your best life with your family. And again, like I guess I should say, like, I don't have kids, so you know what I mean? So that's why I love being like go. Maybe if I had a family like with kids and shit like that, like it'd be different. I'm sure it would be different. So this is just me coming from like no kids type thing. But if you're like one of those wrestlers who are getting paid nice paychecks every 2 weeks, whatever it is, every Friday, whatever their pay schedule is, and you're getting a little bit of merch money, you're getting some appearance money, whatever, like you're getting your bag and you ain't doing shit and you're just sitting home taking care of your family, like raising your kids, like helping them with shit, then I totally get that. I 100% get that. So I guess let me put that out there too, because that is a side of it as well, you know. And like if you only have to work like 10 days out of the month and you're getting paid for the full 30, 31, 28, 29, depending on the year, then good for you, bro. Like if you have built your name up to that point where it's like they just whatever, like they gave you a contract, not gave, you guys agreed on a contract because no handouts, right? But you earned that contract and now you're just like, fuck it, like I've been grinding for 10, 15 years, like I'm gonna take, you know, if they don't want to use me then fine, but I'm gonna take that money. I get that, man. I fucking get that. But like my thing is if you're the wrestler or the worker where you're in the prime of your career and you're trying to go and the company is just not using you, then that's when I'm like, okay, like why not just fucking let them go? That, so just to kind of, I don't know if that needed clarification. But it made me feel a little bit better. Just because I don't be a hypocrite either, because like fuck, like if I was making like, I don't even know, like I can't even imagine their paychecks. But like if I was making a good amount of money and I've already put in the grind and I'm just like kind of coasting, then okay. But I don't know, like wrestling is such a dynamic and such an enigma again, of a career and like path where it's like they say it's almost like calluses, they say, right? Where it's like you need to go to keep, like it's almost better kind of being sore than not being sore type thing. Because when you go and then you heal and then you go and it's like almost like almost like a curse, you know, or it's like it does more harm than good type thing. So again, man, I'm not even trying to sit here and talk for nobody. That's just kind of like where I would be at it if like mindset wise, if I was in that situation. But again, man, yeah, get y'all's bags. Like y'all fucking, and again, like I don't put my body on the line for none of the shit that I do. Like I'm not out there in front of millions of people. I'm not on the road, so I get it, bro. If y'all just want to fucking collect your bag, I can understand that. But for the wrestlers who want their bag, but they want to grind for that bag and they want to keep going, like they're in the prime. That's kind of where I'm coming from with that. So, but I appreciate your comment, Universal. I appreciate that comment because it kind of sparked that little, oh well, you know, like that whole thought process for clarification. So I appreciate that, my friend. What up, Cal? Come here. Where can you watch the roast? What up, Mr. Skinny TV? What up? That's a funny name, bro. And I love your card, dude. That shit is sick. That is sick, dude. Where can you watch the roast? So E actually tagged me in. Shout out E. Tagged me in it on Twitter. I will get that pulled up here. So not a cheap plug, but if you want to check out my Twitter page, I'm pretty certain that's what E had tagged me in. It wouldn't let me play it on my iPad for some reason the other night when I saw it, but it's there, and I'm pretty sure it's somewhere on YouTube as well. But the link that he had tagged me in was like fucking like an hour or some shit. Let me go through it and see. God, some reaction video just popped up. Let me know what you guys think about these fucking reaction. Like people just, it's just so cringe. We've talked about it before, but it's just so cringe. Because it's fake. Like when people put on, it's just like Just be natural, bro. What's wrong, Cal? Come here. Get on the bed, bro. She be doing this shit every time I sit down. When did you tag me? Wasn't that long ago. But yeah, I'll try to repost that shit. But I'm sure it's somewhere on, it has to be somewhere on YouTube. Or maybe not. Maybe the roast wasn't, because I think what he had tagged me in was just audio. So maybe it's not. I don't know the. Where'd it go? I don't know exactly how the roast was captured, for lack of better words. Well, never mind, guys, because the post was deleted by the author. So fuck that. Just kidding. So I don't know. I don't know, guys. Sorry, man. I was tagged in it. Shout out to E. But the author who had posted the tweet deleted it. Maybe they got in trouble. WrestleMania roast. Smooth realism. You said that's boring. We gotta have different wrestling archetypes. I dislike the notion that you gotta be serious. Plenty of real life fighters that can beat your ass who are hilarious. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Gotta have that dynamic field, man. Because like if everyone's serious, then it just I don't know, man. It's just not. I don't know. It's just not a good vibe. So I fucking feel you, man. I'm right there with you. Okay, So that was probably why. So I just did a search really quick for the roast. Was it really that bad? What do you guys think of, like, did y'all see the roast? Did y'all hear the roast? Were y'all there? Let me know what you guys think. So there's a list floating around when I just searched on the old Twitter of I guess jokes that got everyone worked up. I have not read this. Y'all want to take a look at that? I don't know if this is part of me is hesitant on sharing it because I don't know if this is true. And like I don't want to be spreading shit that like someone just typed up. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll share that right now. Hold on. I wonder. God, can I play someone else? Can I play someone's TikTok on YouTube? Will I get in trouble for that? I definitely don't want to get like One True Sports YouTube channel. I don't know. I don't want to play this video because I don't want to get I don't want to get One True Sports YouTube channel like striked or whatever. You know, if it was my channel, it'd be different because whatever. I'll take the hit. But I need to learn these rules. But apparently there's some videos floating around. Paul Heyman says some shit. And there's this list going around, y'all. I don't know. Like just type in WrestleMania roast and yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me get back in the comments here. Dude, yeah. So, smooth realism again. You said in wrestling, comedic characters don't get a chance often, but when they do, they get over big time. Kurt and Timeless Tony Storm, for example. And this is possibly going to be controversial. I will make a case for Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, hear me out. He was not obviously a comedic character, right? However, when he turned heel, when he went bad, that I guess feature from Steve Austin, right? Like the serious badass dude who's out there flipping people off, giving everyone stunners, stunning Santa Claus, like middle finger this, like drinking beers, like just kicking ass, right? Like most badass dude ever. He was back there playing the guitar with Kurt Angle, right? Kumbaya, remember that? Like singing with Vince McMahon, all that shit. So now, again, he wasn't a full blown comedic character, but he did dip his toes into that water. So the case that you made earlier, like the seriousness and you need to have that sense of of relief, you know, like if everything is serious, then almost nothing is serious sometimes, you know what I mean? Then it takes away from the seriousness of other shit, you know what I mean? So it's just like you have to have that balance and that influx. And again, you don't need to, like, again, for Austin, I think he's a really good example. This fucking number keeps calling me and hanging up. Like, I don't fucking answer. If you don't leave a voicemail, I don't answer if I don't know who it is. But, because I ain't pressed. But it depends on the character, right? So obviously with Austin, you don't need, like, obviously you wouldn't, like, since he, you know, since you get an idea and you get a sense of, oh, he's funny, you don't then change his entire being, right? But if you have someone like a Chelsea Green, obviously it's like what Heyman said, you accentuate the positives, you hide the weaknesses, right? Chelsea's like fantastic strength is her personality and the fact that she is so creative, she is so in tune with who she is as a wrestler that she makes a lot of shit work, right? And she came up with like the hot mess character, remember, in TNA, and I just thought that was so creative and just so cool, just different, you know what I mean? It's a break from the norm, you know, and especially with like the women's division as a whole, like women in wrestling period, it's so hard to stand out because it's just like you're either the cookie cutter or like you're a badass, you know what I mean? And men are kind of like that, but men just for whatever reason seem to have more diverse characters for whatever reason. And it's just when you're not that you're limited as a woman, but it's harder to really amplify that and have it be it taken seriously, even if it's not serious, you know, like it's kind of hard to explain sometimes, but yeah, man. Oh, CB, yeah, Britt Baker, man, that's a whole nother story. Yeah. Universally, you said only way Britt Baker goes to WWE is if Tony releases her. Britt, similar to Ray Phoenix, has a ton of injury time to finish on her contract. Tony has done a terrible job with Britt. May being Mariah May is leaving in the fall. Man, I almost like I wouldn't get into it, but I don't think we have enough time to get into the whole Britt Baker AEW aspect of it. Universal, if you're here next week, remind me about this topic and we'll definitely touch on that because like I said at the start of the show, I really want to focus more on like not as much WWE next week, maybe just more majority being like AEW and other shit that's going on. Who with wrestling, who the fuck knows what's going on next year? Next year. Should even next year, no kidding, but next week. So bring that up again. But yeah, because Britt, I think she had just recently renewed. So I think she already had like at least like maybe 2 more years, and then however long of injury time she had, like that. I think she has like another like 3, 4 years, 5 years maybe, type shit. So who the fuck knows? But she's out there living her best life, really. She has her own. Obviously, she's a dentist. She just celebrated her birthday. I think she just like went on like a trip somewhere. So we'll talk about that next week. Oh man. But yeah, in regards to Mariah May though, I think that's very interesting to me. Like I was actually surprised that she does want to go to WWE. Like because we're seeing more and more with wrestlers being okay not going to WWE. So especially with Mina coming in, I thought, you know, like maybe she would just be more comfortable. But if she does end up going to WWE, props to her, bro. And again, we'll talk more about that next week. But when I first saw that like reporting coming out, I was like, oh shit. Like, wow. If Tony lets her go, I would be shocked. Like, if and like I don't know. Like I was pretty surprised that Jade ended up leaving. Not because I didn't think she would ever not end up going to WWE because it was just a given, but with how quickly she did. But yeah, and I guess maybe that's too different of an example, but I just figured like Tony would throw so much money and always I don't know. Like, cause, like with Stephanie Baker, she even said like money isn't everything. So, and I gained a lot more respect for her with that. So, it's gonna be a very interesting year, guys. Very interesting year for sure. But I'm just gonna go through some comments here. I do want to mention again, just a little bit more about the dangerous alliance that we're seeing on Raw before we dip out. And then the follow up from the WrestleMania Night 1 main event with Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman. Again, man, I've been saying for months that Rollins was going to win that main event. I did not see Heyman being involved, right? But as we got closer, once he became the favorite, that possibility became more of a potential. I really liked the fallout. I really liked how they set that up on. I really liked the way the main event ended on night one, on night one for the triple threat, and I really loved the follow up on Raw. Man, I loved the setup with how Punk came out first, was taken care of by Rollins, and then Rollins is sitting there like just gloating. Reigns' music hits. Reigns is setting up for the spear, hits the spear, but then as he is going to take out Heyman, all of it's like he's gearing up, and all of a sudden, as he's running, a hooded man just hits a gnarly spear on Reigns, which is the poetry there, right? And it's fucking Bron Breakker, bro, just hitting his just crushing spears. And man, like Bron Breakker, bro, like it's almost like you almost forget he was in NXT. It's just night and day to me, like how he's been presented. And again, like he was presented as a badass in NXT. Like it's not like he was presented like badly or anything at all. Like I'm not discrediting that. I'm just saying it's actually a credit to the main roster and just how amplified he's been, because there's a lot of talents that are cooking down there in NXT, right? And then come up to the main roster and you either don't see them or it just kind of fizzles out. But Breakker, yo, like I just feel like it's almost like I forget I forget he was in NXT. And I just think the dynamic with the three of them, at least right now, Heyman, Seth, and Bron Breakker, man, the visual of Seth just having Breakker under his wing and guiding him and being the architect of it and just really putting together, being part of a piece that's putting together this new alliance with Heyman obviously being the mastermind fully behind it, and there's word that there's going to be an additional member, potentially Becky Lynch. She obviously turned on Lyra. Part of me was like, why even change the titles? I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna wait and see how the Becky Lynch portion of it plays out to see if she does end up joining the Alliance. I don't know. I don't know if they're officially calling it the Dangerous Alliance. I don't know. I guess they could. Like legally, I think they could. I don't know, but I'm fucking here for it though. I do know that, and I think it's just going to just put that rocket, as they say, on Breakker and just fucking make it so much more than what it even was. And I don't know, like it. Not that I was even bummed that he lost at WrestleMania, the IC Championship, because I figured going into it, I predicted, like a lot of people did, that Dom was gonna win, so nothing shocking there. But I did think like, okay, like what are they gonna do for Braun next, like Bron Breakker next? When I go to just say Braun, I think of Strowman, so I don't know. I know it's probably just me, but I was like, what are they going to do at Breakker next? Because you don't necessarily want to see him go straight for the heavyweight championship, right? I did make a case, I think, that you could have him feud with Jay, but I don't know. Like, it just seems not the right time. But this is perfect. Like, this is so great, and this was such a good idea. And as much as I've been shitting on some of their ideas lately and the booking or whatever, this was a win. This was a win. As much as it pains me to see Punk going through it, I'm very intrigued. Like when I left watching Raw, I was like, okay, like does this kind of force the hand of Punk and Reigns to be more friendly with each other. My dog sees the dog outside, so she's probably gonna bark here in a second. It's okay, Cow. Other doggies can walk too. Cow, Cow. Hold on, let me mute myself real quick. Alright. I just didn't want her like barking, going crazy, and like deafening you guys. But I really feel like this opens so many doors for Bron Breakker, and I really feel like long term, I know, like, I hate to be that person already thinking of the end. That I think you can get so much fucking time out of this, minimum a year, depending on how many layers you add to it, how many people you add to it, the dynamic, like what their goals are going to be. Like, there's just so much you can do, so much, and you can present it as Braun is like the heavy, right? You don't want to see Braun just doing like Seth's dirty work type thing, but I wouldn't be surprised, guys, if we don't, or if we end with 2025 with a Seth Rollins heavyweight championship run on Raw. I think that is a high possibility, just a matter of when, possibly a SummerSlam, depending on, again, the direction and the time it takes to build and draw up the story and the end game. Man, I think you could really add a lot to it. But yeah, I loved it. Yo, what up, Mackenzie? What up? What up? We actually spent a lot of time on that at the beginning of the show. But kind of like long story short of it, I don't even know if I can do a long story short of it. Yeah, you just gotta go back, man. I hate to be that person, but it's like, it was one of those where like I expected it to be Cena and Orton at Backlash, but I want Cena to change up why he's so angry. But I will say, I think it's fucking hilarious that Randy Orton is trying to be like the voice of reason and where we're at in the world, right? But the whole parenting aspect of it, and like he was like, like Cena needs to fill a void, and he's like, I figured out what the void is. Like you need to have kids. It's like, what the fuck? Like what? Like, is that really like something like Randy Orton would say? Like the Viper would say? Like, man, you know what your issue is, Cena? You know what the problem is? I figured it out, bro. I figured it out. You can, sorry, I hit my desk. You can calm down. I know what the issue is, Cena. You need to have kids. What the fuck? When he said that, I was like, that was literally my face. I was like, no, he doesn't. Why the fuck does he need, like, why do people have to have kids? I'm not gonna get on my soapbox, but like, why do people have to have kids? Like, I don't know. Like, why? I just don't get it. Like, because then, like, if he had kids, then people would be bitching that he has kids and he's never home. You know what I mean? Or like, all the wife's taking care of the kids. There'd be those people out there. So it's like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So it was just like a very like pivot point for Randy. Like I don't know. I know it ended up leading into the Make-A-Wish thing and all that stuff. Like I get it, but it was just like, what? What? Like that's the void. That's why Cena is so angry. That's the void that he needs to fill. He needs to have some kids. It's just very, very odd. Very odd. But we will be wrapping up here soon, guys. I appreciate you all for filing in. Like I said earlier, a lot of you guys are watching over on the Twitter, so I appreciate that. Got a lot of people in the house. I hate to leave, but we will be wrapping up here soon. Got some shit I gotta do before I head into work this afternoon, and traffic has been crazy lately. Fucking crazy. Like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But I appreciate you all for being here and hanging in there with me. And Sean, for your super chats, I appreciate that. Again, if you haven't like or dislike the channel, or not the channel, the show. If you dislike it, just let me know why. That's kind of my only ask, Just let me know why you dislike it, like your thoughts, if you disagreed with something I said. Yeah, I just like to know why. But I'm just going through some comments here just to make sure Yeah, I talked about Joe Hendry, man. Oh man, what a night for him. And again, Stone Cold, like really quick, when I remember when we saw Stone Cold when he came out and almost, y'all, he that dude. Fucking Stone Cold, man. But I knew once we saw him come out, he was not going to be involved in the main event. And we all should have known then that Rock wasn't going to be involved either. Because if Austin's not going to be involved, then Rock most likely wasn't going to be there. So, yeah. All right, Sai, you said the roast will never see the light of day. Oh, homophobic, racist stuff. WWE are taking down audio. Really? Really? Because that was a WWE like sponsored like event thing, right? I didn't even know there was a roast going on, to be honest with you, until like after the fact. So I didn't know much about it, but it was a WWE sponsored event, right? And they really just let them go like balls to the wall with it. Wow. But yeah, no, because Universal said you definitely want to see it now, and then Sai said, I don't think you'll see it. The audio I heard is gone, and for good reason. It's nasty stuff. So maybe this transcript that and again, like I didn't even read it. Wow. Now it's gonna, yeah, maybe I don't want to see it. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. I'm just really surprised if I'm just really surprised by that. Universal, you said you found a few videos of it. The ape canoe, the ape canoe. What up? What up? Nice thumbnail there. Pretty dope. You said I think I'm gonna take a break from WWE. I'm just numb to all of it. Okay. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, though, dude. Like this week, to be again completely transparent with you guys, like I didn't watch. Well, I mean, I had to work a couple of nights, but I just I just needed a break from wrestling. As much as I love it, I needed to. It was just consuming like every bit of me the past 2 weeks. I was just like, I just need to take a break, and he just needed to put the phone down, just step away from listening to anything. So I get it, dude, and I get WWE. You know, like WrestleMania was an interesting event for them as a whole, and I think it should be a wake up call to them as well as again as a whole. When you break it down to the stories that they built going into it, the people they involved in those stories, the outside people they involved in it, how just fucking like in love they are with celebrities, like just as a whole they need to be mindful of that in my opinion, but then also they need to really check themselves with these fucking ticket prices. I saw a video, this chick and her daughter, I guess, or whatever, her family came across Randy Orton. I think I don't know where he was. He was maybe in a hotel somewhere. I don't know, but or I don't. He was just somewhere, obviously, in some like convention looking type building. But there was like I don't know the full story or the full conversation rather, but she was like, yeah, like the tickets were like $30,000. I'm sorry, you said what? Like $30,000? And then Randy Orton was even like, I think he said like that's embarrassing, or like he was just like he was just taking a gas by it, and I was just like, and she said something like, yeah, it was like a once in a lifetime experience for her and the kids, whatever, and I'm just like, $30,000? I'm sorry, what? Like I they gotta do something about that shit, and I guess they won't because you had people buying it. Would not be me, man. I If I was a millionaire, I maybe it would have to be something I don't know. I don't even know. I was gonna say that I truly felt was like once in a lifetime. I don't know. Like for instance, climbing Mount Everest. I looked into that shit. Not that I wanted to do it, but because of Darby Allin. You know, it on like minimum that shit is like 70 to 80 grand to climb Mount Everest. I had no fucking idea it was that much money. I don't really know what I expected. I didn't expect that though. Not to mention the preparation, obviously they got to put into it and all that shit, but like I I saw that price and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And again, and maybe I'm just cheap. Maybe I'm just this some cheap bitch, you know, and that's fine. That's fine. But 30 fucking grand, I better be getting a piece of the ring. I better be getting that shit better be signed by everyone under the sun that's back there. I better be getting like I better be getting like one of one type shit. Like if I don't even know. I don't even know what I would want or I would expect, but like the fuck. Okay, so I was reading somebody else's comments about the jokes. Or smooth realism. You said I heard Nia was punching under the belt. Charlotte's surgeries, for example, is below the belt. Yeah. Uh, guys, y'all won't hear that shit from me, man. Like I don't know. What does that have to do with anything? Universally, you said another joke was about the fans at Allegiant Stadium, which also crossed the line. The fans at Allegiant Stadium. I don't know. And CBU said the people at the roast just took shots at the people that they don't like. And Nia Jax's was uncomfortable to watch. I'm not a Charlotte Flair fan, but she didn't deserve that. Damn. Yeah, see, now y'all are going to make me go find that shit. Okay, so I think this list then maybe it is because I just saw the Allegiant Stadium one referenced. Who said that? All right, so I'm gonna read this list really quick. I'm not gonna put it on the screen because again, I ain't trying to do one true sport like that. Oh, I'm about CM Punk was stupid. CM Punk is straight edge from drugs, alcohol, and winning at WrestleMania. That's stupid. Wow, the one about Jey Uso is not great. Come on, bro. Okay, so line number. So one of the sentence, like, there's like 18 sentences, like 18 points that I found. All you gotta do is type in WrestleMania roast on Twitter, and you guys can find the list that I'm talking about. There's like 18 of them listed here. Um, One of them says Charlotte appeared to be the main source of attack as there were several jokes made regarding her divorce and plastic surgeries. Like, were these people there? Was like Charlotte there to defend herself? Was like Jay there? Like, I guess I need more information. I guess I need to look into this roast because I don't know. Like, was this a WWE promoted event? Like, were these wrestlers there? Like, was Charlotte there in the fan, like in the crowd? Like, what type of setup was this? Like, apparently Paul Heyman made jokes about Maurice's private parts and said that something about Shayna Baszler. Like, were they there to like? I don't want to say like defend themselves, but to like, I don't know, like play along with it or like, um, yeah, the Allegiant Stadium one. That's fucking wild. Who said this? Like, who said these is what I want to know. Wow, the one about Gunther is not great with the celebration of 420 and Hitler's. Come on now. Wow. So apparently Paul Heyman was out there just kind of going ham on people. Said some shit about Freddie Prinze Jr. starting a wrestling promotion. Wow. There are still some clips out there of the audio. Apparently, I mean, yeah, the roast of WrestleMania, Tony Hinchcliffe? I don't know who that is. So I guess he's a comedian. I don't know. Hinchcliffe, I think is the name that's on there. All right, I'm gonna go back to y'all's comments and then we'll be wrapping up here, guys. But yeah, I gotta look into this. I gotta get more info on this roast shit and see what's going on with it. Whew. Whew. Okay, so I said Tom Collahue. Shout out to Tom Collahue. Reported that Paul Heyman is booking for Seth, Cody, Cena, etc. So that gives me hope. Yeah, it's really no surprise though about the Seth, Cody, and Cena booking. I just hope that Paul is going to be more involved. Period. But he's been involved with a lot of shit for years, though. Exactly, smooth realism. He said, more kids you have, the more money you have to worry about. Facts, bro. And I'm selfish. I will admit that. Yes, Universal. So it's a great way to start winding down. I do this show every Saturday morning live. It's supposed to be a start time of 10 a.m. Eastern. Sometimes it's a few minutes after, depending on the day. I originally it was gonna be an hour show. If you're new here, I fucking ramble on and I go far too long. Sometimes 2 hours, sometimes an hour. I don't even know the last time I did an hour show. But yeah, I ramble on and on. But yeah, it's Saturday morning live around 10 a.m. Eastern. So yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Definitely subscribe here. I have my own channel over at KickAsh Podcast. Feel free to subscribe over there if you'd like as well. So yeah, I appreciate that question. I appreciate you popping in. And Scott Baseball, what up? What up? He said, how often do you stream? First time here. So yeah, Sean, that kind of answers, or Sean, Scott, that kind of answers that. So yeah, I'm here at on this particular channel, the One True Sport, and on Twitter. If you're watching, we do like a simulcast stream through YouTube and then on Twitter as well through RVD's Twitter page. So live every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. You can check me out though on my channel as well. I do my own shit over there. But yeah, at least here I'm Saturday mornings live 10 a.m. ish Eastern. Okay, University said there were 18 jokes in total. I would say 3 were over the line. Okay, yeah, like I said, I gotta definitely do more research on that shit and see what it was. CB, you said if I spend 30,000, my girlfriend would cut my manhood off. Bro, I fucking bet, dude. I fucking bet. Oh man, and then you would be up to 30 grand to get that shit fixed. So lose. But yeah, thanks, Universal. I'll definitely be checking those out to see what's going on. Yeah, and y'all are saying Gunther is suspended. I don't know anything about that either. I fucking missed that, so. Oh, that was him? Yes, the size. I remember there was an international incident in the election campaign when a guy called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage at a rally. Yeah, that was the guy who hosted the roast. Okay. I do, of course. That was a big thing. The fuck is happening, bro? I don't know what the fuck is happening. Y'all are nice. Very nice, CB. Very nice. But yeah, guys. So I appreciate you all so very much. We almost had 1,000 people watching on all platforms, so I appreciate you all. I was gonna say some final thoughts, but I feel like I've said a lot of thoughts here this morning. But again, all seriousness though, thank you guys so much for popping in and spending a portion of your day with me. The people here watching live, I truly appreciate you. If you have, or if you are watching on replay in the future, I hope you're having a great time of your day in the future as well. But again, like I said earlier, I am here every Saturday mornings live around 10 a.m. Eastern. So definitely feel free to pop in and join me every Saturday mornings, get your weekends going, fun stuff. Definitely feel free to subscribe to my channel, KickAsh Podcast. It's just me over there, just solo dolo, kind of like I do here. I do have some guests on occasionally. But yeah, it's just me talking shit about wrestling and just kind of using it as like a word vomit diary for wrestling type shit. And yeah, and I just love like the whole reason why I really like encourage people to like streams and to like subscribe or whatever is just to get the community growing, because for me it's so fun to meet like new people in the chats and to follow each other and maybe like potentially meeting up with people in the future. Like I've said in the past, man, I've met so many good friends through wrestling. So I just feel very fortunate for that. So that's why I really appreciate you guys popping in, just commenting and just giving me your opinions as well, because that's all we're out here doing, man. Nothing I say is right, nothing I say is wrong. It's just my opinion. You know what I mean? But again, guys, I really appreciate you all for popping in. Sean, I appreciate you, man. Y'all have a fantastic weekend out there. Enjoy it, man. Monday comes too fast. But until next time, you all stay safe out there, wherever you're at in the world. It's crazy out there, but stay safe. Just take a breather. Not everything is that serious. And enjoy some wrestling, guys. Take care.